Ẹ káàbọ̀ sórí ètò ọ̀rọ̀ obìnrin lórí ìkànnì yìí. FC Wamco, ilé-iṣẹ́ tó ń ṣe mílìkì 3 Crowns, ló mú ètò yìí wá sí etí ìgbọ̀nyín.
It's another week, another opportunity to listen to your fantastic favorite show, Ọ̀rọ̀ Obìnrin. It's Women Matters and we're glad to be here today. Thank you so much for inviting us into your homes, into your car, or wherever it is you're listening to us from. I'm Ronke Giwa Onapuwa.
Inú tèmi náà dùn láti wà ń bí pẹ̀lú yín. Orúkọ tèmi ni Fọlákẹ́mi Mighty. Ẹ ṣeun tẹ́ ń gbọ́ wá ní gbogbo ìgbà. Ọ̀rọ̀ Obìnrin lètò. Ẹ ṣé, ó yá, ẹ jẹ́ ká tẹ̀.
Okay, on today's edition of the show, we have a guest, and we're so excited to introduce our guest to you today because our topic is one that is, yes, women related as usual, but some very specific, because a lot of people, until they get to this status, you always feel as if, you know, nobody understands or you can't understand what it feels like, but you will understand. Show my ye.
Oh my ye. Oh my dear, ye wa torí àwọn tó ń gbọ́ wa lórí ọ̀rọ̀ obìnrin, àwọn lọ́pọ̀lọpọ̀ gbígbé ẹ̀dá ni. A ní àlejò pàtàkì. Inú wa dùn, àwọn nìkan kan ni lórí ètò yìí. Àlejò wa wà lórí ìjókòó. Ṣùgbọ́n kí a tó sọ fún yín orúkọ àlejò wa, a ń láti lọ gba eléyìí lọ́dọ̀ àwọn onígbọ̀wọ́ wa, àwọn onídùúró wa, àwọn tó ń tì wá lẹ́yìn. Mẹ́ta, 3 Crowns milk. Ó yá, ẹ tẹ̀lé wa ká lọ.
Àwọn ọmọ mi máa ń yà mí lẹ́nu ní ṣá. Adùn ní kì í jẹ́ kí 3 Crowns milk tí mo fẹ́ràn dùn hàn mi. Tó ń dẹ́ ń tiẹ̀. Kì í jẹ́ kówó ìsàpòrò mi sé lóṣooṣù. Wọ́n tiẹ̀ ti ń gbà á lérò pàápàá láti mú mi lọ sí Dubai láìpẹ́. Kí n lè fojú mi kòrókòró rí Bùrùjí Khalifa àtàwọn ibi mèremère mi.
Ó yá o, láti jẹ̀bùn ìrìn àjò lọ sí Dubai fún màmá rẹ̀. Ra àwọn ọjà 3 Crowns tó tó ẹlẹ́gbẹ̀rún méjì náírà. Kọ̀wé láti dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ màmá rẹ̀. Fi ránṣẹ́ lórí ayélujára www.3crowns.com.ng. Ìpolongo yìí ní ìlànà àti òfin o. 3 Crowns milk, ìlera àwọn màmá, ayọ̀ ẹbí.
We are back. Thank you very much for staying tuned with us. It is Women Matters because when it matters to women,
it matters to all.
Ọ̀rọ̀ Obìnrin.
Ọ̀rọ̀ gbogbo wa ni.
All right. We'll let you all settle in. Get your 3 Crowns meal. If it's pap that you are drinking, whatever. If it's oats, whatever it is that you are using your 3 Crowns milk to drink, just settle in. Whatever, even if it's tea, we'll take that. On today's edition, we're talking about first-time moms.
Àwọn obìnrin tó ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ di ìyá fún ìgbà àkọ́kọ́, ó ní àwọn tí a fẹ́ bá sọ̀rọ̀ lónìí. Ó ní ọ̀rọ̀ wọn la fẹ́ sọ lónìí. Gbogbo yẹn la fẹ́ bá sọ̀rọ̀ ṣùgbọ́n ọ̀rọ̀ wọn la fẹ́ sọ lónìí.
Yes, because 3 Crowns cares.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni a ní àlejò tọrọ ìkan gbọ̀ngbọ̀n. Àdúrà wa pàtàkì ní fún gbogbo àwọn aboyún tó ń di ọwọ́ di ẹsẹ̀ sínú pé ọjọ́ ọ̀kúnlẹ̀ wọn kò ní nira lágbára Elédùà. Gbogbo àwọn tó dẹ̀ ń wojú Ọlọ́run náà fún ọmọ kí Ọlọ́run kó jọ́ kó bá wa dá wọn lò lẹ́kan méjì mẹ́ta mẹ́rin mẹ́fà kò sí ilé ìtàn náà ò lè ṣe nu gbogbo ẹ̀ àtọ́jú àti mú wọn ní kò sí èyí téèyàn lè gbé sáré. Ó yànà àdúrà wa ti gbà ìtorí ẹ̀ náà la ṣe rí àwọn abiyamọ wọn ní pé tó bá ti ń ṣẹlẹ̀ ní neighborhood yìí ó ti dé náà nìyẹn ẹ jẹ́ ká máa bàbọ̀.
Absolutely. So today we're introducing our guest today. Her name is Mrs. Titi Kushimo.
That sounded very weird. But I'll take it. I like it.
Yeah, she's an author. And of course, she's a mom of one. And of course, she's a stunning, beautiful young lady that we're glad to have here today.
Thank you.
As we told you earlier, as we told you earlier, 3 Crowns is really big on celebrating moms, big on, you know, in supporting moms in whatever way that we can. And, you know, we're talking about new moms today or first-time moms today because, like I said earlier, before I became a mom, there are lots of things I would hear, but I would not hear. Exactly. And when you say it, sometimes because what's it called? To those who are not moms yet, your time will come.
Definitely.
I pray that if it's something you're looking unto God for, it will happen.
Amen.
You know, but you know, there's just something about being a mom that, especially some of the downsides, that even when you were told before you became a mom, you just thought, don't worry.
When we get to the bridge, we'll
cross it.
Ìgbà tó bá wá dé tán wá máa mọ̀ pé àṣẹ báyìí ni kílẹ̀tẹ̀ sọ fún mi báyìí kílẹ̀tẹ̀ sọ fún mi oríṣiríṣi ìbéèrè àti ọ̀rọ̀ làwọn èèyàn máa sọ tó máa ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ di màmá. Ó dá arábìnrin Títí.
How long have you been a mom?
2 years and 5 months.
What?
Now.
See, that's the with moms. They were 2 years, 5
yes,
months, 5 days. 2
hours
hours.
every month. Like, okay, she's 2 years and 5 months today. Next month, she's every 19th of the month. I know, not like every 19th, but I'm conscious of it.
Oṣù mẹ́ta ọjọ́ mẹ́rin wákàtí máa ní ẹ̀pẹ̀lẹ́ ẹ̀yìn máa kà ní ìṣẹ́jú àyà ṣùgbọ́n ó ṣe rí lọ́kàn oníkálukú ọ̀tọ̀ọ̀tọ̀ ní. Akí àwọn ọkùnrin náà tán mọ iye ìjà àwọn ọmọ wọn.
Ẹ tún sọ̀kù.
Èrò ọgbọ́n
Shots fired.
Mọ́ọ̀tù wo la bí yẹn ná?
Exactly.
Àbúyín tó ra mọ̀ kí iṣẹ́ tẹ̀ ń ṣe òpó ọ̀kọ́ tó wà lọ́kàn yìí ó pẹ́ ṣáà fi dé sílẹ̀ fáwa èyàn ṣáà má ti gbàgbé bẹ́ẹ̀ dẹ̀ má gbàgbé á máa lẹ̀ mọ́ stick notes.
Exactly. All right, so Titi Kushimo has been a mom for about 2 years and 5. So would you say you're still a new mom? Does it feel
I'm
new?
still, yes. It's like every day. Although I get a hang of it as the day goes by, I understand things better, but I'm still very new. I'm still learning a lot of things. As a matter of fact, recently, so when he told me that I wanted to talk about it, I was so happy because I feel like the initial stage, like the first 3-6 months, I feel like I was tough.
Really?
Funny enough, yes. I feel like it's now that I'm really being pressured. So that, says the fact that don't assume that because the child is now a toddler or the child is not more a baby, like an infant.
Yes.
So you think, oh, you're already,
It's
yes. Sometimes your stages can just be different. So for mine, I feel like it is now that I'm just I'm
Being
just
a mom?
I'm just feeling
the tough
more,
part.
yes, the
Wow.
tougher part I think is now. Yeah.
Oh wow, see?
Yes.
Ṣé mo pa answer náà pé ìgbà mi wà máa rò pé I'm not a mom of a toddler. I'm not a mom of a teenager.
Yes.
It's always new every time.
Yes.
How come I yàtọ̀ sí because ọmọ age tó jẹ́ ìsìn ọkọ ló máa jẹ́ in the next 1 month. So I ṣá máa yàtọ̀.
Absolutely, because children are people, they keep growing, and with each level, there are different, challenges that you have to face. When they are infants, they can't talk. You have to carry them all around the place. You think it's hard because then you have sleepless nights and all. But then when they become toddlers, you have to stop them from touching this wire, stop them from going here. So there are different levels, and I'm curious to know. So what were your expectations versus the reality? We'll talk about that when we come back from this break. It is still Women Matters, and we'll be right back.
àwọn ọmọ mi máa ń yà mí lẹ́nu ní ṣá. Àdùnní kì í jẹ́ kí 3 crowns milk tí mo fẹ́ràn dùn hàn mi. tó ń dẹ́yìn tiẹ̀ kì í jẹ́ kówó ìsàkóró mi sé lóṣooṣù. wọ́n tiẹ̀ ti ń gbà á lérò pàápàá láti mú mi lọ sí Dubai láìpẹ́ kí n lè fojú mi kòrókòró rí Burj Khalifa àtàwọn ibi mèremère mi.
ó yá o láti jẹ̀bùn ìrìn àjò lọ sí Dubai fún màmá rẹ ra àwọn ọjà 3 crowns tó tó ẹlẹ́gbẹ̀rún méjì náírà kọ̀wé láti dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ màmá rẹ fi ránṣẹ́ lórí ayélujára www.3crowns.com.ng ìpolongo yìí ní ìlànà àti òfin o 3 crowns milk ìlera àwọn màmá ayọ̀ ẹbí.
Padà láti dé ẹ ṣeun tẹ́ gbé kúrò lórí ìkànnì tẹ́ ti ń gbọ́ ọ̀rọ̀ obìnrin 3 crowns milk àwọn ní onígbọ̀wọ́ ètò yìí ní gbogbo ìgbà tẹ́ bá ti ń gbọ́ obìnrin a dúpẹ́ púpọ̀ lọ́wọ́ yín.
Yes, thank you so much 3 crowns for allowing us to have these conversations that help families, bring families together, help women to be more aware and to get the support that they need. And today we're talking about first-time moms. So for those who are first-time moms, or even you are looking to be, maybe you're not a mom yet, you just go married. Trust me, listen to this conversation because when we're telling you now, you're not here. Then when sleep deprivation starts to bash you in the face, you say, but I did not know. Well, I'm glad because I think our parents, Titi did not talk about a lot of things that we are.
Yes, I think in fairness
we
to
talk
them,
more now. Our generation.
Yes, they just thought it was just normal. They just took it for granted that what do you expect? Do you expect it to be all rosy? Like this is a job, like a new job. So they just took it for granted. So it's now that we're shedding light on these conversations that it's now becoming a big deal. Even when you talk about these things to some of our elderly people, not necessarily our parents, that people in that generation, they look at you like, it's no big deal. Like, what do you expect? So,
so that's a job.
Yes. So I think it's just to like sort of hold brief for them. I don't think they deliberately did not want to tell us. Like they wanted us to be in the dark and then get surprised. I think they just didn't think. It was.
Ṣé mo pé ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ nǹkan gan ni mo mọ̀ pé ní neighbor náà tí àwọn olùwà sọ pé àmọ́ mi ò sọ fún kó máa rí bá wọn ní kò sẹ́ni tó máa ń sọ fún yàn. Experiences náà ló máa sọ fún ẹ wípé báyìí ló ṣe máa rí báyìí ló ṣe máa rí. Àwọn nǹkan wo ló ní òsì ní àwọn nǹkan wo ló dàbí ẹni pé I didn't sign up for this. Àwọn nǹkan wo ló dùn mọ́ yín nú àwọn nǹkan wo lẹ fẹ́ sọ fún wa.
Okay, I think the first thing that really, shook me off balance was I felt like I was gone, like my own life was gone. Yes. I had my baby in the heat of COVID. So first, nobody could come. People could not really come. So even visitations were censored. So it was like you were alone. Me and my husband, of course. On the day of the christening, we had a few people, less than 20 or less than 10, just us and a few family members. So after then, everybody just left. So I was like, I was like, wait, though, is this how everybody's going to leave me with a human being? Like, it looks like this is an actual human being, like Morogo, So I think that the first thing that I just felt like I had to forget about myself first. I was not even thinking about myself. Even sometimes when I get work, because before then we're working from home. So after a while, COVID restrictions were relaxed. So people went back to work. So a few times I had, but it just felt like, just leave this one on this side first. I could not even come to the real world. It was like my world was built around the baby. That was how. So I felt like, how am I going to be able to cope when I get back to real life? Like I was thinking faster. My head was just calculating that will I still be relevant after all this? Will my life just be about this baby? So that was the first thing. So everybody was just like, how is the baby? Nobody was even thinking about me. Yes, everybody always asked about the baby, but hardly did anybody really think about me. Just a few people, just thought about me because of course they felt that the baby was more vulnerable at that time because of the peculiarity of that period. So
even tí o ṣe peculiarity gan nígbà yẹn kó má jẹ́ ìgbà yẹn ni kò yẹ yín tí o bá ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ bímọ mo rántí pé ìgbà tí mo ní ọmọ mi ẹ̀gbọ́n mi wọ́n wá ní pé ó yá gbà mo máa mu in fact 3 crowns milk coincidentally náà fún mi lọ́jọ́ mo rántí wọ́n wá gbé tani bá wọ́n ní yá máa mogi yẹn torí pé kọ́mọ ẹ lè rí nǹkan mọ́ wọn báyìí pé but àbúrò yín ni mí náà.
But the thing is, I hated pap, and I want to talk about that sacrifice.
Really?
I still didn't hate pap. I didn't like pap. So I was like, I have to be taking pap. I had to be taking pap every day. That was it was
to
not
get
a
the
given.
milk, the breast milk.
And let's not even talk about waiting for the breast to start lactating. I was crying. I was in tears. I couldn't even believe. I used to think I was tough. Like everybody sees this tough girl, but she humbled me. The experience really humbled me. I was like, God, please let this thing just come out. And we could not leave the hospital until I lactated, and they were giving her formula, but she was
long?
Because after 48 hours, I hear mine is still fair. But you don't want to know the trauma I went through. I was just waiting, and the nurses will keep saying, just put it. She will just keep making us so. So at that point, they had to give her glucose because I wasn't lactating. She was, everything. She was dehydrated. She wasn't taking the glucose, the formula that we bought. She didn't just like it. So I was just stranded. You know that feeling? And for the kind of person that I am, I like to control outcomes. I don't like surprises. I don't like anything to truncate my plan. So that was one of the things that has been one of the things I have learned as a mom, that just let everything just
have all these plans, but things will always
don't
happen.
Be too much in control because you have no idea.
And I bet you never thought, because that's the thing, everybody that gets pregnant just thinks, okay, I'll get pregnant. For me, I was so naive. I just thought I'll get pregnant, maybe I'm gonna have baby, we'll just go home. What shocked me was the sleep that I'll have to be up all night. I didn't see that.
Nobody gave you the memo.
Nobody. I just thought, okay, I just saw baby sleep all night. They'll go to bed at 8, wake up at 8.
No.
Láti sọ kíní kan fún yín. Ó ṣeé ṣe kẹ́ ló lóyún lẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ yín. Ó ṣeé ṣe kẹ́ fẹ́ lọ kí ọlọ́mọ. Tẹ́ ẹ bá mú kọ̀ọ̀kan dání, ẹ rí dájú pé ra 3 crowns milk dání fún wọn. Nítorí pé ara nǹkan yìí, wọ́n láwọn láìkí ògì, èmi láìkí ògì. In fact, mo ṣe wà wọ́n lè fi láàárọ̀ lọ́sàn-án lálẹ́ tẹ̀lé. Ó ṣe kọ́kọ́ fèlè. Ṣé mo tẹ́ bá ògì àti mílìkì? Ó wà lára àwọn nǹkan tó jẹ́ wípé ó máa jẹ́ kí omi ọyàn kó tètè jáde lára obìnrin tó ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ bímọ. 3 crowns milk, ṣé mo gbọ́ mo sọ fún yín? In fact, ẹ má yẹ kí a lè fọwọ́ rọ̀ yẹn sẹ́yìn. Era miliki. Era àwọn kan lè tún lè rà dání.
And when you get there, help them wash plates. Don't expect her to come and start making food for you. You have come to visit somebody that's nursing. Don't let them come and cook for you.
I'm telling you, support tí o lè fún abo ẹni tó ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ bímọ. Kì í ṣe kékeré. Bó tiẹ̀ jókòó tì. Ọ̀rọ̀ ẹnu ẹ̀gan lásán.
Don't even wait. Don't come.
So you know your belly like
No, not like I don't want people to come.
Yes.
But I don't understand that period.
Yes.
There's just a feeling
I don't feel like
you want them to
I don't
come,
feel like sitting,
but you don't want them to
be in my bed. I agree.
You know, so you're just like
send money.
Don't even shout me up and say please. So for me, even though COVID restrictions made it a bit tougher, I think I coped better because of my personality. I'm just like, please don't come. So if you must come at all, make sure that you're adding value.
Make
so
it
that
brief.
Yes,
make
and make it
brief.
Exactly.
20 minutes.
3 crowns.
My personality. Same. I totally agree with that. Don't come if you come spend 15 minutes. Don't expect me to cook. Come with money or more.
àwọn ọmọ mi máa ń yà mí lẹ́nu ní ṣá. Àdùnní kì í jẹ́ kí 3 crowns milk tí mo fẹ́ràn dùn hàn mi. tó ń dẹ́yìn tiẹ̀ kì í jẹ́ kówó ìsàpòrò mi sé lóṣooṣù. wọ́n tiẹ̀ ti ń gbà á lérò pàápàá láti mú mi lọ sí Dubai láìpẹ́ kí n lè fojú mi kòrókòró rí Burj Khalifa àtàwọn ibi mèremère mi.
ó yá o láti jẹ̀bùn ìrìn àjò lọ sí Dubai fún màmá rẹ ra àwọn ọjà 3 crowns tó tó ẹlẹ́gbẹ̀rún 2 náírà kọ̀wé láti dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ màmá rẹ fi ránṣẹ́ lórí ayélujára www.3crowns.com.ng ìpolongo yìí ní ìlànà àti òfin o 3 crowns milk ìlera àwọn màmá ayọ̀ ẹbí.
Women matters. Thank you so much for being a part of this conversation, and we're having such a great time with our guest today, Titi Kushimo, who is an author and mother of one, and she's talking about her experience as a new mom. There's so many things that we are not told, but then we say you will learn by experience. And I want to talk about antenatal, for example, should be that place where you're supposed to learn about a lot of things. What was your experience like?
Well, for me, I was my own encyclopedia. I started reading here, so I will go to antenatal with questions. I don't want any surprises. Yeah, so
what do you expect of it?
For me, I had so many questions for the doctors, and they'd be like, just calm down. I'm like, I don't want to calm down. I want to know, this and that. So I think that there's a place of personal effort because you need to probe. To understand. Yeah, don't just wait.
Don't like you when they ask questions.
Maybe they feel threatened. In the public hospitals, they may feel threatened if you ask too many questions. Like, I know my job, that kind of thing. But you have to understand that this is your life and the life of your baby.
So
if you don't feel comfortable with the hospital you're using, you can switch.
Absolutely.
So that you can get better care. I think we need to talk about this more. Don't just rely on what the doctor says.
Yes.
He's human. He might be tired. Do you know when you go to the clinic, you see like 15, if you're even lucky,
women.
If you're even lucky, if you go to a private hospital, you can see like maybe 20 on antenatal days. One doctor.
Yeah.
He's human, so he might even forget to tell you certain things. So you have to come prepared as well. Yes, I know it's not easy. You have been pregnant, so I'm not trying to say, oh, you're not doing enough. But sometimes it's important that you also, probe to ask questions. So for me, I was always the pregnant woman that stayed longer with the doctor, and people will be like, what's she doing? You understand? So I would like to take my time to understand because I wanted to have information, and it's also an opportunity to also learn about these things. You just see people pregnant and you're like, me, I used to look at pregnant women like, what's wrong with this one? Is it because you're pregnant? But now when I see a pregnant woman, I can give her my eyes, I can vacate my seat because I understand.
Yes, because sometimes you feel super healthy, you feel super, but then sometimes you just, because I was super healthy when I was pregnant, thank God, but there are some days where I just had to be in bed for a few days. And I also wanted to speak to why some doctors may not want to say this, and because like you said, they might say, oh, this will happen this way, but every pregnancy is different. So you can, for example, I expected to have birth, have my baby a certain way, but then we have to do CS at the end of the day. So just expect anything. Expect the best, but also expect anything.
Lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí bá ṣe expect anything yẹn àgbàdúrà pé nǹkan tó dáa òun lọ́nà ayọ̀ǹda fún gbogbo àwọn aboyún wa pátápátá. Ètò ọlọ́bìnrin ṣì ń tẹ̀síwájú 3 crowns milk. Àwọn ni onígbọ̀wọ́ wa, a ní àlejò wa, arábìnrin títí kó sì mọ̀ ṣé mo gbà
Yes.
mo gbà àwa sisi ayé sisi ni wa
Kush.
àwọn kan wo yàtọ̀ sí pé ìgbà tí agent ní àwọn kan olójọ yín lójú àwọn kan olójú mọ̀ yín ni tó gbé yín dẹ̀ máa gbé yín nínú tó gbé yín nínú.
Pleasant surprises.
Yes, I think that, you want to connect with your baby, but the first 2-3 weeks it was really tough because all hands were on deck. We were just working. So I think about when she clocked 4 weeks, I felt some kind of connection, and that really touched me. Like, oh, this is actually my baby. I used to feel like a baby myself, and now having a baby, it was so touching. Yes,
And
it
do you
was
know what,
so
Titi?
touching.
What I also want to pull out from here also, because people expect that once you have the baby, you should feel that connection. No, not everybody will feel the connection immediately.
No.
You may feel yours that same when the baby comes out. You may feel yours a month after. You
It doesn't make you a bad mom.
Yes,
Exactly.
yes.
Because you start feeling like, when we watch YouTube videos a lot. So I've watched a lot of YouTube videos how when they bring out the baby, you just put her on your chest. Me, I could not even see the baby because it was cesarean section. So I was so I couldn't even see her immediately. They just put her in the baby cot, and then I was trying to get up to see her, so they took a picture of her to show me. So it was already very emotional. So it was really tough for me to quickly connect.
Yes.
I don't know if that was the reason, but I mean that was my experience. So, and I also want to say that a lot of people put out information out there, especially on social media, YouTube, all those things.
Helpful information.
Yes, helpful information, but you also have to verify.
Sure.
So I had a lot of people telling me, oh, I heard this, I heard that. And I was like, mine was not like that though. So like you said, there are different people with different experiences. So the fact that someone's pregnancy turned out in a certain way does not mean that yours is going to be like that. That's why God is God. He just does what he wants. He just does what he likes, So for me now, I didn't even expect that I was going to have a CS. Everything was progressing very well until the morning, like in the midnight. I just felt like something broke. When they say your water broke, I couldn't even confidently say my water had broken. I was like, this one is more than urine. Like I just went to the restroom and I was telling my husband that this thing is more than urine. He was like, I should just calm down, that if we get another episode, then we'll conclude that it's lo and behold, there was no other episode. So yes, there was no other episode. So we just calmed down and waited till morning, till around 6 a.m. before we went to, not even 6 a.m. it was later at like around 7, because it was a Sunday morning. So, and I wasn't feeling any pain. I was not feeling any pain. All the pain I was feeling was irregular pregnancy, like your menstruation, like some discomfort. So when we got to the clinic, so I insisted. The doctor was like, he needed to examine me. She was like, this guy is going to do this to me. So I said, and I had read before that you have the option of doing a scan. So I said, why not let's do a scan? I was already, they give you 2 weeks. My control freak. So I was like, they give you 2 weeks before or 2 weeks after. So I was in my 2 weeks before. So I knew it was a possibility. So I told him that let's just do a scan first before you start examining me. So he thankfully listened to me because I had already bonded with them. I built a kind of relationship. So they trusted me, like, okay, let's just give it to her, because I was always doing scans. I know they said
every week.
they said they'll just do 2 or 3. Me, I will go to the hospital, I'll go to another clinic just to check. Yes, also,
I think a lot of
I think as a first time mom, there's a bit of nervous. You're a bit nervous. You're like, oh, is she moving? Is she doing this? Is she doing that? So I, I pleaded with him, not like I insisted, I pleaded with him to let's do it. Lo and behold, I'm not even fluid. That thing, it was already dry. So they needed to do an immediate cesarean section. That was how mine happened.
Wow.
Yes, that was how it happened.
Sherry, talking about CS, ẹ jẹ́ kí n má parọ́ fún yín, kì í ṣe gbogbo èèyàn ló plan fún.
Yes.
Àwọn kan dẹ̀ wà náà tó yẹ pé wọ́n máa sọ pé nǹkan tí mo fẹ́ ó leléyìí, oyè yín ṣe a máa yẹ ká máa fojú wò pé ọ̀lẹ obìnrin ni kíní kan ṣe. Àwọn tá a ṣe wà lórí table gang, oyè yín nítorí bọ́ọ̀lù ọ̀ṣun tó kọ́ máa jẹ. Fún èmi ní àpẹẹrẹ, èmi fẹ́ wo bí labour ṣe máa rí. ṣùgbọ́n gbà tó dẹ̀yà ọmọ o labour ò mú mi mo kàn dé jókòó rẹpẹtì sílé ní new time mom ẹ mọ́rùn kan yẹn gbà tí mo dé hospital náà sọ fún mi pé àwọn rò kó ti lọ bí ọmọ sípò mi ni ó ṣì ń gbé kí ni mo ní mo ṣì gbé gbà tó máa ṣe scan wọ́n ló ti gbé ìkọ́ sí ọrùn lẹ́ẹ̀mẹ́ta wọ́n ló ti kẹsẹ̀ sílẹ̀ wọ́n ní kò mí dáadáa wọ́n ṣàkàtún ní rẹpẹtẹ mo ní ilé ìtẹ̀sẹ̀ kì í ṣe tèmi kí la máa ṣe sí wọ́n la máa gbé jáde ni ó yá ẹ bá mi gbé jáde ọdún ẹ̀rú kọ́kọ́ bá mi bọ́tà àwọn kọ́kọ́ àti ẹ̀kọ́ ojú agbára wa lọ àrò wípé ó máa ṣẹlẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ ó kàn déédéé ṣẹlẹ̀ tó bá lè ṣẹlẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ kò sí nǹkan tí wọ́n lè ṣe sí i a ní ká gbóhùn ìyá ká gbóhùn ọmọ ká gbóhùn bàbá ohun gangan là ń wà káàdé sáà káàdé tọ́jú ara wa ká mu 3 crowns milk lé lórí
in fact I want us to stop this whole normal birth every birth is normal birth as long as both mother and child come out safe and alive is normal birth so let's stop looking down at women who do CS because sometimes like Folakemi said it was same situation I had both worlds I labored for about 8 hours before they now realized that she had the cord around her neck so everybody wants to do vaginal birth but every birth is normal birth as long as you are safe and always obey your instincts just like Titi said you are the owner of your body the doctor cannot know what you are feeling yes you can definitely listen to the doctors but let them always know this is how I'm feeling and I feel a certain way about this.
wọ́n dẹ̀ jẹ́rìí àwọn dókítà wa á lè dà wọ́n láàmú jù ẹ wo à ń padà bọ̀ mo mọ̀ pé ń gbádùn ọ̀rọ̀ obìnrin ẹ má gbé kúrò mẹ́rin.
àwọn ọmọ mi máa ń yà mí lẹ́nu ní ṣá Àdùnní kì í jẹ́ kí 3 crowns milk tí mo fẹ́ràn dùn hàn mi tó ń dẹ́ ń tiẹ̀ kì í jẹ́ kówó ìsàkóró mi sé lóṣooṣù wọ́n tiẹ̀ ti ń gbà á lérò pàápàá láti mú mi lọ sí Dubai láìpẹ́ kí n lè fojú mi kòrókòró rí Burj Khalifa àtàwọn ibi mèremère mi.
ó yá o láti jẹ̀bùn ìrìn àjò lọ sí Dubai fún màmá rẹ ra àwọn ọjà 3 crowns tó tó ẹlẹ́gbẹ̀rún méjì náírà kọ̀wé láti dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ màmá rẹ fi ránṣẹ́ lórí ayélujára www.3crowns.com.ng ìpolongo yìí ní ìlànà àti òfin o 3 crowns milk ìlera àwọn màmá ayọ̀ ẹbí.
padà ẹ ṣeun tẹ́ gbé kúrò ní ìkànnì yìí ẹ ṣeun tẹ́ gbé kúrò lórí ètò ọ̀rọ̀ obìnrin
ọ̀rọ̀ gbogbo wa ni.
ọpẹ́ pàtàkì lọ́wọ́ 3 crowns milk tí wọ́n ń ṣe onígbọ̀wọ́ wa ní gbogbo ìgbà ànífẹ̀yìn gbogbo ẹ̀yin olólùfẹ́ wa ẹ má gbàgbé láti tẹ̀lé wọn lórí gbogbo social media platform 3 crowns milk wọ́n ń ṣe ohun takuntakun fún àwọn màmá lónìí nítorí ẹ̀ ní àlejò wa náà ṣe wá pẹ̀lú wa ẹ ṣeun arábìnrin Títí kò ṣe mọ̀ ẹ ṣeun tẹ̀ wá.
Thank you.
eléyìí afẹ́fi ṣe thank you ma adúpẹ́ ma kẹ́ bá adúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ dádì pé wọ́n release yín fún wa ẹ bá wa kí ọmọ wa kẹ́dẹ̀ rí dájú wípé ẹ ṣètọ́jú wọn àti ẹ̀mú àwọn gan ni ká sọ wípé kọ́ ṣètọ́jú torí ojú yìí òrèbè bóyá ẹ bá wa dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ 3 crowns.
All right, thank you very much to 3 crowns milk.
ẹ sọ Yorùbá.
Okay, ẹ ṣé púpọ̀ 3 crowns milk fún ẹ̀bùn takuntakun mo rí pé wúwo dáadáa so thank you very much and thank you for having me on this set. It's been a pleasure.
Kò ń dùn kó pọ̀ ṣókí báyìí náà lọ bẹ̀ ọ̀gẹ́ adúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ yín pẹ́ ń gbọ́ wa àwọn tó ti send comments ní social media wa àwọn amọba ṣe máa ń mú yín ní gbogbo ìgbà láti sọ bẹ́ẹ̀ náà ẹ gba ẹ̀bùn yín tó wúwo lọ́wọ́ 3 crowns milk orúkọ tèmi ò yí padà ṣeun tẹ̀ ń gbọ́ wa Fọlákẹ́mi Mighty.
And don't forget, as you're leaving your comments, tell us where you are listening to us from. That is very important to us. Give us your name and where you are listening to us from. My name is Ronke Giwa Ondafuwa. Catch you next time.
3 crowns.
You just listened to Women Matters on this station. Brought to you by FC Wamco, makers of 3 crowns milk.